My instant reaction to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons game last night. The Falcons ended up losing 22-17 to the Kansas City Chiefs. But before we give you my recap, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to hit that like button. The Inquisitive Mamba podcast on YouTube. Let's get right into it. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs won again. They are officially 3-0. The Kansas City Chiefs haven't even hit their full stride yet. Patrick Mahomes is. I haven't seen the Patrick Mahomes that I saw last year. I have not seen the MVP Patrick Mahomes. But first of all, we got to talk about that defensive pass interference call that the refs missed on the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins drops back. It's 3rd and 5, throws to Kyle Pitts, and Brian Cook is not even looking at the ball. He didn't even turn his head. That's 100% pass interference. We saw the same movie last weekend with the Chiefs against the Bengals where the pass interference call on Dejon Anthony and Rashee Rice, and the defender got there early. The refs called that. Well, you got to call it fair, right? Because the Chiefs got bailed out by the refs last night against the Atlanta Falcons. That's 100% pass interference. You cannot miss that call in that situation. And I know the next drive they tried to do some makeup calls there because McDuffie got bumped with a pass interference call on, I think it was Darnell Mooney. That wasn't pass interference, but the refs in this situation here, I've said before, they need to be held accountable for their actions. That's 100% pass interference. Let's flip the script real quick to the Atlanta Falcons play calling late in the fourth quarter. Last part of the game, right at the end there, the Atlanta Falcons on 4th and inches decide to go with an outside zone. I understand your offensive line is banged up. I know they haven't been the greatest all night long. You got some missing pieces in and out of the lineup there. But why would you call it outside zone there when you can run up the middle with Bijan Robinson? I know you don't want to sneak with Kirk Cousins because of the Achilles injury, but anything but an outside zone there. If anything, if you don't want to run the ball inside, maybe even drop back or put Kirk Cousins in the shotgun and maybe throw it out, something, but it's 4th and inches, or a fullback dive, anything better than an outside zone when you know the Chiefs linebackers are faster than Nick Bolton. When he hit through that gap, the game was over. The Kansas City Chiefs prevailed again. They are starting to look like the old New England Patriots all those years. It's the same movie. I feel like the refs are on their side. Of course, you can argue what you want in the comment section, but the refs are clearly on the Kansas City Chiefs side in every single big game. It's almost like you're watching the NFL week in and week out. And I watch the NFL faithfully. I'm a huge NFL fan, just like everybody else, but you're watching these games and you're sitting there and you know this movie is going to happen. You've already seen this movie so many times. I've seen this movie. It's such a good movie, right? I know what's going to happen. I know the outcome, right? The refs are clearly on the Chiefs side. And let's pause for a second. The Chiefs played a pretty solid game last night. Their defense showed up in big moments. It was clutch. It was key. But that pass interference call, you got to call. Travis Kelce, let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs offense. Travis Kelce was a no-show again last night. I defended Travis Kelce on the podcast a few days ago saying that he's not washed and has nothing to do with the Taylor Swift effect, which it doesn't have anything to do with Taylor Swift. She wasn't even at the game last night, so nobody could get upset. Nobody could get mad. However, Travis Kelce is being double teamed. He's even being triple teamed. And yes, Mahomes missed him on a few throws. There was a throw where Mahomes kind of rolled out and Kelce was kind of in the soft spot of the zone and Mahomes just missed him. Now it's going to happen, but it's only week 3. There's plenty of time left in the regular season. There's a lot of time left to grow. There's a lot of new pieces in Kansas City with Hollywood Brown. I know he's injured right now. Xavier Worthy, the new rookie there. Carson Steele, he's coming into play because Pacheco is hurt. There's a lot of moving pieces. Things are going to happen where Kelce is not going to be open every single time, but Kelce is just going to be fine. So let's wash away that narrative there. But the Kansas City Chiefs had a great run game last night. Carson Steele, the rookie out of UCLA, he balled out last night. The offensive line looked good, but like I said at the beginning of this instant recap, we have not even seen the full potential of Patrick Mahomes this season. You're saying the potential. What more potential can you get? Mahomes hasn't even played his best football yet, and they're only in week 3. And their defense is playing fairly well, right? They've got the Chargers coming up here this week. They'll be home for that game, but the Kansas City Chiefs haven't even hit their full stride yet, and they're still winning these close games. And that's what's important in the early part of the season, because like Bill Belichick has always said, your best football comes after Thanksgiving. Now we're only 3 weeks in, but from what we've seen with the Kansas City Chiefs so far, I really don't see any team beating them in the NFL. I really don't. I know it's very early. I mean, you got Baltimore in the AFC, of course. They gave them a run for their money. Cincinnati will always give them a run for their money. And you got Buffalo as well. They're about to play Jacksonville here tonight. They should win that game. So, but let's take a pause from the Kansas City Chiefs and let's move to the Falcons. The Falcons last night, I don't know what happened. They were in that game the entire way. There was some questionable play calling, like I said, but you can't make those key mistakes there. That's all play calling. I can't believe that. In the red zone there, it's almost like it was that end of the game there, and they forced those 2 plays. The 3rd and 5, I feel like that one was forced. And then it was the 4th and 5. I felt like that one was forced as well. If they just took their time, I know it's the Chiefs. I know they're coming at you with everything they got, and Spagnuolo is an absolute machine with blitzing. If they would have just drew up the right play, they probably would have won that game last night. Both kickers were exceptional with Harrison Butker and Younghoe Koo, both elite kickers there. But really, that's my instant reaction recap from the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons last night. The Falcons ended up losing 22-17. Overall, great game, another great Sunday night, but the refs cannot bail the Chiefs out in that situation there. You can't do that. That is 100% pass interference on Brian Cook. Let's recap it real quick for you guys. Kirk Cousins drops back. It's 3rd and 5. The defender isn't even, he doesn't even turn his head. You cannot do this and get away with it. The refs completely blundered that one there. Like I said, the refs, they cannot have their fingerprints on this game. You got to call that. So thanks again. Instant recap. Like, hit, comment, subscribe. The Inquisitive Mamba podcast on YouTube. We're almost at 900 subscribers. We'll see you guys in our next recap. Let's go.